Hi everyone, it's Evelyn Ackah. I hope you're well. I want to talk today about criminal inadmissibility and challenges at the border, both coming into the United States as well as going to Canada, especially with all the travel and the holiday plans coming up for many people. This might be a time where there'll be a lot of people traveling. You need to know, first and foremost, are you criminally inadmissible, or have you had any challenges with the border where they have maybe deemed you to be inadmissible because of misrepresentation or some other challenge? If you have, you need to be very cautious about trying to travel over the holidays or at the border. We recently had a client who reached out because he was involved in a very, very high profile concert. I'm sure you can guess it, that's been going all over the world for the last few years. And he was a cameraman that needed to enter Canada, and he had two DUIs. And so generally, even if they were like 14 years ago, two DUIs makes you inadmissible, and you need to apply for a temporary resident permit at the port of entry, or sorry, at the consulate. And because we didn't have time, we only had like 2 or 3 weeks, we determined that we would try, because it was just for a 6-day entry, to prepare the TRP application and seek some discretion by the officer so that he could come in to do this very, very major concert that was ending and wrapping up in Vancouver. And we prepared everything. We got all of his FBI. We got the city and state police certificates for the place that these DUIs occurred. And we just said, given that it is only 6 days, they've been long time, we don't have time to get the TRP, but here is basically the application. And we were very happy to find out that he was admitted into Vancouver and there were no troubles. This is because we were prepared. So please, I always urge our clients, don't do it because you're going to get refused if you're not fully prepared, or make sure you give yourself lots of notice. So let's talk about Canada first. If you're looking to come to Canada and you have a temporary resident permit issue, you know you're criminally inadmissible, please, please reach out 4 or 6 months in advance of when you need to travel. Reach out before you need to come to Canada to connect to go to do your Alaska cruise, so that we have enough time to do the application for the temporary resident permit for you to seek entry and special permission, so you can ideally get approved and have confidence before you come to Canada that you will not be refused. So you need at least 4 to 6 months, because these days processing times are taking a very long time. If your criminality or inadmissibility is longer than 10 years ago, you also have the option of applying for full criminal rehabilitation. So in addition to doing the temporary resident permit, we also do the criminal rehabilitation, which takes longer. It could take a year or two, but this is where it actually goes away and removes the requirement to ever have to do a TRP in the future once you're approved for full crim rehab. Highly recommend doing that if you know you want to travel into Canada and you don't want to keep doing TRPs, but you want to have the confidence that everything is clear and clean on your record, and you haven't had anything for more than 10 years. Please reach out to us and let us help you get both the TRP and the crim rehab so you are good to go in the future without any hesitation. If you're entering the United States, they consider inadmissibility requires a visa waiver. And so people need to get visa waivers for both criminal inadmissibility, but even overstaying, lying to immigration, misrepresenting, being flagged at the port of entry. Those are all reasons that people need to get a visa waiver. And unfortunately, the difference with Canada and the US for now is that it never goes away. So if you continue to be a temporary resident visiting for tourism or business visitor purposes, you will need to continue getting a visa waiver every year or every 5 years. It doesn't go away unless you become a permanent resident and you have the option of proceeding that way, then it'll go away. But if you continue to be a temporary resident visiting for business or travel, the visa waiver requirement doesn't actually get archived. There is no crim rehabilitation equivalent like there is in Canada. So again, please don't try to choose a border that you think will be more favorable, because everything is on the record and on their system. Please don't try to lie to get through to the States. Give us time to get the visa waiver for you and do it right. Right now, they're taking 6 to 8 months to process visa waivers based on the backlog. So you need to give yourself as much notice as possible and as much time as possible. If you're thinking you want to do a special trip to Disneyland or Hawaii a year from now, it's the right time to start now so that you don't encounter problems at the border or you don't lose that fabulous trip you've been planning for because you didn't prepare in advance. The border will continue to be an issue as things change, even with the new Trump government. I'm sure there'll be more challenges coming down the pipe. But for now, if you know you've ever been charged, convicted, fingerprinted, do not travel until you reach out to a lawyer that understands this information and can help give you the right advice. I also want to pause and let you know that Canadian pardons are not recognized by U.S. immigration. Even if you do them and they're recognized here in Canada, they are not recognized as going to take away your criminality. You will still need a visa waiver. So don't be fooled by companies that tell you your pardon will make everything go away. It doesn't have any impact whatsoever on the US immigration process. So please give us a call if you have questions, if you need anything else. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Lots of people are traveling, even within the country in Canada or within the US. But do not cross the border if you have any hesitation because of criminality or inadmissibility. Take care. I hope this LinkedIn Live has been useful and informative. Bye-bye.